player base of a server can easily change overnight. This is no exception for the server of Blockdrop. Legends get banned, and the communities of the server change. Players have found themselves in a test of endurance against an oppressive server. However, a glimmer of hope shines at the end of this dark tunnel, as these trying times do nothing but motivate the current player base into becoming more experienced than ever before. It's no secret that the former cracked server of Blockdrop is not what it used to be. Things change, some for the better, some for the worse. This may be an understatement. Just take a look at the player count over the years. People have cited a lot of different reasons for Blockdrop's decline, and everybody you ask about this will have a different answer. The topic of why Blockdrop died has been done to death. There's such an ungodly amount of community opinions with forum posts and people talking about it in-game and on Discord. Also, people don't often hit the mark very well with analysis because they are biased due to their own subjective perceptions and experience on the server. A Factions player is likely to give completely different reasons for Blockdrop's decline than a Prisons player. Because of this, I asked those who know best, the people that have dedicated themselves to playing Blockdrop through nearly their entire histories. The reasons they put forth for Blockdrop's decline are sometimes still biased, as are my own and everybody else's. In any case, I think it's important that that instead of people randomly throwing out these singular blanket statements reasons as to why Blockdrop died based only on their own subjective perceptions and experiences on the server, we should come to realize there is no singular reason as to why Blockdrop died. Even more challenging is trying to determine how much each factor may have contributed to Blockdrop's downfall. So in this video, I'm going to bring up some more potential factors that may have contributed to Blockdrop's decline. I hope they're ones that you haven't heard of or thought of before. Then, what I find more interesting is I'm going to discuss the question of whether or not Blockdrop is truly dead. Obviously, there's no denying that his player base has dropped by over 700 players in the past few years. That's a cute way of saying it was getting over 1,000 concurrent members each day, now it's around 300 to 400. What a fall from grace. How pitiful in comparison to what Blockdrop used to be. But does all this drama ties to shameful regret actually mean that the server is dead? How do we define a dead server? If Blockdrop can somehow bounce back to its former glory, if it still has a chance at it, is it truly dead? Death is supposed to be irreversible. Is Blockdrop's loss of players and popularity something that is irreversible? You may already be asking these questions, and that's great, because what we're going to talk about. Also, you may have already noticed, but I'll be focused on Blockdrop's fall rather than its positives, mostly because I think that all the negatives outweigh the good things on Blockdrop. Alright, so first, as I said, reasons why Blockdrop died that I hope you haven't heard or thought of. Be warned, just because I talk a lot about the following reasons doesn't make them more important. I just think they're worth hearing because few people consider them.
So what's up, Tree? What's poppin'? Today I'm gonna be showing everyone that you don't really have 900 players on the dying server. If I have to estimate how many I'm gonna find in the Gamemodes, I'd probably say 400. That's a fair number, right? Okay, so let's start. I'm not gonna count the lobbies because, well, it doesn't matter. So 60 players. Okay. 60. We're off to a good start. Right? No, 60. Shit, my bad. 61 players, bro. Okay, so counting. Well, of course, at 61. Hub. If you want to see tab, it's like 5 people. I'm just gonna add 20 players right now. We're probably gonna triple the lobbies. You know, being generous. You know, generosity was always my thing. How many Skyblock? The tree once said he had a lot of players on Skyblock, you know. About 150, he said they reached once. Oh, 54. Okay, I guess that's a decent number. 100 players, wow, nice. Keep in mind, most of these players are AFK. Like my boy Wallace is dead. Oh, Skyblock DMC takedown, right? It's like they use Sonic all around it, bro, and they pretend like they created it. I don't know. I find it funny. I find it funny that you try to DMCA takedown, like threaten to DMCA takedown one of my buddies. You know, since you've always been a big hypocrite. 33 players. Okay, fair. Okay. Almost 200 players. Wow, nice. Okay, this shit. Oh no, it's not. I thought this would be very fucking active, but apparently not. 33. Oh shit, 34. Let me add one. 202 players. Okay. Survival. Okay, great. Oh, 50. Wait, that makes no sense. Wait, no, that literally makes no sense. What? City life. What? 45. What? Huh? Less than 300 players and haven't even reached the Bedwars? So there must be, according to this, there must be around 600 players here. But we all know that's not true. And this spawn is very laggy. This is letting you shit on my frames. What the fuck? Okay, whatever. It's okay. Okay. Well, let's add 10 people. I'm not about to count them. So that says 307. But that makes no sense. Right here it says you have 903 players connected to your proxy. And as we all know, or as we ban evaders know, you know, you can't connect using a VPN or a proxy. So what does it mean? Well, there is a simple solution. She has 600 bots in his server. He's probably using, I think it's called fake server or something like that. I don't know. It's a plugin. It's very known in Black Spigot. It basically just adds players to your server. It's not that hard. It's a Bungie plugin. Come on. Or it probably isn't a Bungie plugin. We should just ask Tree. You know, he knows. He uses it. So I don't know, man. Just okay. Tree. The only reason that you will make me take down this video, right? Because I know you want it taken down, is if you somehow explain where the other 600 players are. Just explain that. Just explain to me. Shut my mouth on the YouTube comments if you ever see this video. Which you probably are, because I'm probably gonna go advertise it somewhere. Yeah, that's it. Just do something about it. Shut me up. Change my mind. Literally change my mind. Do something, bro. Don't just bot your server because it's dying. Because 300 players isn't really good for a supposedly top factions server or a top skyblock server. It makes no sense. Please explain.
Blockdrop is supposedly a cracked server in Minecraft. This means anybody that has access to a working PC can download a crack launcher or a premium launcher and play. Also, if you bought Minecraft, you are still able to play on the server. This benefits some servers as some people cannot be asked to pay or cannot afford to pay for premium Minecraft. There are many pros and cons to being a cracked server. Some of these faults will be brought to light today. While some will praise Blockdrop, I will start with the pros since everybody likes to hear some good news. Blockdrop is extremely fun in my opinion if you have friends on the server or know how to play the different game modes. It can be a fun way to waste time or play with your friends, but after a long time, things start to get boring. Basically rinse and repeat, since no major updates come out. And the major balance changes also go into effect, which affect the playstyle and the gameplay. But now isn't the time to talk about the downsides. Let's continue with the positives. Another positive is that Blockdrop has a few good plugins. This makes Blockdrop special in a way, since other faction servers are entirely different. Although the plugins aren't original, it's nice to see a good combination of them on the server, like the chunk busters, void chests, and how you need a creeper egg chest and spawners on enemy territory. Another plus is that Blockdrop has a small active player base. It's easy to find a variety of people to fit in with, since there are newcomers and old players on the server. Some examples are the donors that have been playing for the years, GM, Costas, King Strafes, and a few others. Another plus is on factions. If Tree's in a good mood, he will give everyone $1 million in-game money, which definitely helps out other players. The biggest reason why I think Blockdrop is amazing is because it's so unique. It's not the same as other faction servers with the rules, meta, crates, and stacked armor. One may look at this from 2 points of view, but BD has a currently changing player base. Players quit, players join, or players get banned. The never-ending cycle still runs. Those are basically all the pros on Blockdrop, but oh boy, there's a huge list of cons, or I don't even know where to start. Now on to the cons. One con that has appeared is the raised store prices. Yes, I understand that the server needs to run, but the owner himself has publicly admitted to buying a Tesla. Raising store prices created a public outcry. Many people were planning to buy rank, but they didn't want to since the prices rose, and a singular key cost $5. After a while, Tree reduced the prices sort of back to normal, but some of the prices still remain high. This is just an option, but Tree himself admits to making boatloads of money from the server. Maybe he should put some back into it. Another con is the vote harassment. Voting makes the server look more good than it is. As NCPS and I showed before, Tree bots his servers with players to make it seem like more people are active. Then when it gets up on the leaderboards of the cracked servers, he does voting contests and rewards. Although most of it is okay, some of the voting money seems a little bit suspicious if you ask me. Here, look at the people who won. A few people that are friends with Tree. Kind of sus. He probably rigged 2 of the first voters in the first vote thing, but I believe the second and third vote thing was legit, since I know 2 people who won. Also, voting gives an unfair advantage in some game modes such as Bedwars. Here's a hilarious clip that showcases how desperate Tree is to get votes for his dying server. You win the whole game if you just vote once. Roll the clip. What's up guys? Today I'll be banning on Blockdrop to show you how pay to win it is. Okay, let's get started. Let's go into game of Bedwars. Oh, look, it's so fucking dead. 4 people. Oh. But did that say 70 and 62? Is Tree botting his fucking players? No way. And then you go in the game. Oh, look at all these people. So you're telling me there's 160 people in Bedwars when there's only like 50 people in factions? Alright, I see you, Tree. I see you. Oh, I can't even fill up a lobby. So it's kinda sad. Oh, vote for random winners? No way. So look, I'm in a game with Italy. Now let's go over to the voting thing and let's vote for myself. What? I voted. What the fuck did I get? A diamond fucking sword in Bedwars. Emeralds and fucking gold. How is that fair? How is that fucking fair? How is that fair? That's not fair at fucking all. Holy shit. You can buy a fucking pearl and a diamond sword. What the fuck? That's so broken. Well, I'm just gonna grind out the game and probably use it for background gameplay. But that's absolutely fucking broken. How desperate do you have to be to get people to vote in your Bedwars just to have an edge on other people? That's so bullshit. I'm gonna speed through. Son of a bitch. What the fuck is this? I'm already in the end game. Holy shit. Okay, that's red. Okay. Yeah. Holy shit. Holy shit, that's broken. Holy shit, that's broken. Holy shit, that's broken. Another problem is a lack of purchase help. These people spend their hard-earned money on the shitty server just to get ignored by the owner when they have questions. Such a shame, really. Not like we expected high-quality service from Tree anyway. Look at these people who just get ignored by the owner. Also, Tree, if you're watching, you should probably respond to those people and private the purchase help. I heard that you say these videos are fake, but people can just check for themselves. They can count the actual players in game and see that you're botting your server, and they can see the purchase help as well. Please embarrass yourself more. Thanks. Another problem Blockdrop has is the owner doxing users. Tree has repeatedly doxed users' personal information for everyone to see. Here's an example. This is when Tree was trying to sell the server. You can see he was banned from the website for doxing users. You can also see him trying to up the price of the server and everyone criticizing him. There are probably many cases of people getting doxed that haven't come to light, but there are two prominent cases of Tree doxing users. One is with Kopthan, exposing public images of him in a YouTube video, and one is where he banned a player, and in the ban, he included his full name, which is private information. The players whose name got leaked chose not to identify himself, but if you know who it is, then please stay silent on the issue. Since Tree doxed this user decided to get Tree to admit to doxing him on Discord, and got his Discord banned for not abiding to the TOS. So I guess karma's a bitch, eh, Tree? Losing your over 5,000 player Discord over a silly matter. Feels bad, man. Is this really a server you want to play on, with the risk of having your private information leaked? Also, many people include their receipts with their real name in purchase help, and anyone can go find it. So please fix that if you're not too lazy doing nothing. Thanks, Tree. Okay, wow. Guys, look at this. Tree's gonna dox me! OMG, OMG, OMG! He made like 3 alt Discord accounts to join my server, then threatened me, and said if I didn't take my video down, he would get people to dox me with the pastebin of my public info. OMG! 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 Not like anyone could have found that by just going to my public Instagram where my name in school is. Like, what are you gonna do? Tell him I'm a toxic douchebag? Also, wouldn't he be admitting that his player base is toxic when he says toxic kids will come after me? I doubt anyone will care enough, though. This is a prime example of Tree doxing users. Thank you for the great content, but don't take this as a laughing matter. If this can happen to me, this can happen to anyone. So stay safe, and think twice before playing on Blockdrop. Small update. Tree is trying to cover up his previous actions. With the account he tried to threaten me with, he deleted all his messages that he sent me. He also publicly announced that he had problems with his Discord, but he never admitted that it got banned because he threatened to dox a player. So not so goody two shoes, Tree. He also tried to post a photo of a player named Warrior1112, but he didn't, so that was a potential dox. This will not go unheard of. Players need to stand up and not take this treatment. Also, he exposed private emails of people like Master Avatar. Tree really has a problem with doxing users. Maybe it's because he's insecure about his server. Tree also leaked my IP address, my email, and credit card information as well. Here are the screenshots. This really sickens me that Tree will go so far as to protect his shitty server. I haven't seen anything like it. This is getting out of hand, Tree. Besides all the doxing stuff, another con is that the server has staff purging. Staff purging is when Tree decides to demote/ban current staff that are making the server run. A few examples are all the staff that have been banned, demoted, or resigned over the past year. Duba, Fond, Professional HML, Sohan, Wizzo Purple, Pro Princess, Kizzle Bizzle, Mushi, Kristevsky, Raid Boss, Cabs John 05, Tendius, Audacity, Cantacumber, and many more. Even if he doesn't demote/ban the staff, if the staff decide to quit or resign, then that just shows how terrible the server is. I guarantee you I miss more staff that have resigned/been demoted/have been banned. This means there's a lack of staff in the game modes, which means there's not enough staff to catch hackers and deal with forum reports. This means Tree has to scramble to recruit new staff, which means rush/barely any staff training, which means staff are poorly trained and make tons of mistakes. This shows that Tree cannot recruit active staff members and has to constantly go through the cycle of recruiting and demoting. Tree admits he has gotten over 400 staff applications. This would account for about the whole server in my opinion, but if Tree wants to count the 600 bots, it would be about half. Surely, you have a friend or two on the server. Please ask them if they ever applied for staff, and according to Tree, they should have applied. Based on that logic, there should be even more staff, and not lesser inexperienced staff. Even when Tree had a lot of staff, forums is a big flaw, since many reports go unanswered for days, / hardly any staff go on forums, and appeals usually expire before any action is taken. But now the staff are seeming to take more action on forums over the past few weeks, and let's hope this trend keeps up. A prime example of lack of security in staff training is when Kopthan, one of Kopthan's friends, applied for staff and got in with a fake application. This allowed him to get moderator rank on Citadel and kick people in combat from different game modes and abuse his power. This went on for weeks until he was finally caught. This shows the absolute flaw in not thoroughly going through your staff and having to demote them every week. Another member of staff that got banned while I'm making the script is called 04 River. So I guess the staff keep flowing, eh? This leads to ban waves, which are also a huge problem on Blockdrop. One specific ban wave is a splash ban wave. Members in Splash were getting irritated about the server, like how they lost their permanent power boost, and they had criticism on it. They were talking with their friends, and they were like, oh, I don't like this about the server, they took it away, in their own private group chats, and not in public. This led to many people speaking out, like Cantacumber. True responded by banning most of their group. This was a huge blow to the server, as most staff were in Splash. This led to a lack of staff purging, and this made people leave, and less likely to keep playing. They even asked Tree to get banned. So you can see how the cycle repeats itself, right? Less staff, ban waves, less players, and so on. Staff purging leads to ban waves, which leads to losing a player base, which leads to inexperienced staff, and having the cycle repeat itself.
Alright, so I'm making this video for my own personal use, and so that I can show you guys kinda, an easier, instead of sending a bunch of screenshots to you. So he sends me this, as, if you're wondering why you're demoted, and I actually resigned 15 minutes before, which is, kind of great timing. It was because I was talking about how I was upset with Tree doing the way he made faction power in the new faction season. So, scroll down here. I guess I'll just scroll down and let you guys all see it. So, okay. So you need a 2-month ban. I had no idea you got banned for resigning, honestly. And so I said, alright, no problem. End of conversation. That was it. He has to start off 7 minutes later. I see why everyone on the staff team hates you now. Say, okay, I don't want to continue that. I just say lol. 2 minutes later. Really, you don't dare argue back or say anything to me. You just go bitch behind my back like you did most of the staff team. Alright. I have no idea what he's talking about to most of the staff team. I never really talked shit at all. I kind of respected him too. So, I'll just speed things up. Scroll down. Scroll down. Scroll down. Now, he said, you're talking shit. I was apologizing. And then, I don't know, man. There was someone in our faction group sending him screenshots. And that's it. Hopefully you guys learned something new today. Okay guys, we're back. I didn't think we would be back, but yeah. So I guess we'll just start off where we ended, which is right here. He actually sent me a friend request. I guess it was after the previous video got out. And so, he just goes on. If I ever want to come back to the server, I delete that right now. One more thing to anyone. Oh. Uh-oh. Too late for that. Oh. If I say one more thing in that chat, what? Okay, whatever. Anyway, I'm just gonna keep going down. Man, I'm not bullying anyone. Like, it's just all here to be recorded. Am I being toxic? Blah 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 blah. Nice talking to you. And that's it. That's it, I guess. Oh, nope, he always has to get the last word in. Alright. I'll let him get the last one. Oh, okay. That's it, I guess. Thanks for watching, guys. Epic 2-part conclusion. Okay, guys, we're getting right into the epic trilogy, the 3rd part. I got a lot of scrolling to do. Alright, here. Part 2. I guess I wanted the money. You know, I was just gonna, you know, leave it there, just kind of ignore them. But I guess, you know, there are other people in our Splash faction that were just, you know, I guess sending them screenshots. So, you know, private talk doesn't really exist around Blockdrop. You know, even though I was saying whatever and I was still playing the game and paying money, you know, donating. I was having a great time getting punishments. So, I guess you know, you couldn't even count. Part 2, 3. Yeah, I mean, I guess I might as well, you know, since hopefully this is going to be the end of it. First band, you could have came back. I wasn't going to make a video on you back. I guess there's a video on me coming out. I'm excited to see. Excited to see what he has to say. I suppose everything you know about me. Not really, I don't know his real name even. I think he's 26. Lives somewhere in UK, England, whatever. Guess he knows more about me because he has my PayPal information and, you know, all this other stuff. Because I even has my photo from the staff interview. So that's funny. What did the video do? Yeah, because I got nothing to hide, you know. Just doing this. I guess I'm, you know, the next Duba. Maybe. Just 2 weeks. Oh, wait. Didn't he say 2 months before? Oh. No, he's probably just, you know, saying 2 weeks. That's funny. Goes to show. You can kind of do whatever you want once. Get away with it. Big-oo. It was a big-oo. Wish I could react to it. A lot of this is just like him copy-pasting. Something. I'm trying to, you know, he's trying to be like, you know, where did you send, you know, me complaining about the factions, even though actually it was private, and I didn't even care. You know, I complained, and yet I donated $20, and that's it. I was gonna play more. You know, I didn't resign just because of that. You know, I could care less. I got a job, 10 to 12 hours. I don't have time to be staff on the server. I sent Noah an image, you guys probably saw, that I resigned a while ago. So, alright, I finally give in. You know, I didn't answer any of his questions. So, yeah. I guess he's just trying to, you know, make him feel fine that, yeah, I was in the wrong, you know. All this because of me. Which I guess is, you know, kind of true. Having staff saying toxic things about the server like that. Saying toxic things to other staff. And other staff saying stuff back. Sorry guys, I can't show you. That's private stuff. Maybe later. So yeah, I can't speak my own words in private, and then, you know, I actually speak louder than words. I'm just talking shit in a Discord server. Blah 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 blah. I guess sorry. Yeah, I thought it was Tendus. You know, it was actually Ethan as a person. You know, thinks I'm gonna ban evade, you know, play whatever. No, I'm not. I don't see any more point, you know, giving more popularity to the server. He didn't even give me a chance to respond. He just, you know, straight up blocked me, which is not that nice. But yeah, finally, that's it. Ends with okay. That's it. Leaving it here. No more videos. No more text. That's it. Tree, you're probably gonna listen. That's it. Okay. Thanks. Alright. I lied. I'm sorry. This fourth part. That's it. I just want to get this over with. You know? Just because this is it. This is, you know, no more. No way. Have you taken all your videos down? Well, no I didn't. I put them on private. But that's alright. I'll be up tomorrow. Later. Whatever. They're literally about me. Has that nothing to do with me? Stands by it all. That's good. Like I said, just messed up. Make sure he's right. It's actually my fault. And that's it, you know? That's it. No more. Sorry. Sorry, Tree. I don't anymore, you know? It's really taken me a lot of time. And I got things to do, man. So, thanks. Yeah, maybe next time.
On another small side note, one player named NoHax's Miner was testing out his newly bought Thorax, something you have to pay IRL money for on a block game, when suddenly he dropped it. I think he was testing out the mechanics of it, but we don't know that. And without warning, it disappeared. There was no warning of lag clear, and he started to freak out, but luckily he had a recording of him dropping it, with no warning of the lag clear. Unfortunately, Tree said he wouldn't get it back because he shouldn't have dropped it in the first place. Bruh, he literally just spent his hard-earned money on an item just to have it clear, and he had the audacity not to replace it. He even has proof. So why won't you just replace a paid item that he spent like 25 or 30 bucks on? This is why you shouldn't buy stuff on Blockdrop. Here's one survivalist player's look on the Thorax from Factions. Thanks. Another small thing is about how the server sells unbans. Unbans allow people to come back to the server even if they break the server rules. They can come back with a little bit of money. Just take a look at the people who buy unbans. They hack, they get caught, and are back the next day. This just enables them to hack more often, since they will just pay more for an unban. Although some policies have changed, the server is still very focused on pay to win. Alright, here's an example. You joined Factions for the first time, and spawned with a diamond pickaxe and kit. Let's say you have no external help, like X-Ray or other friends that are on the server, and you have a general understanding on how Factions work. Well, farming will be ruled out since the sell prices are so low. It's literally $5 for one cactus, and it used to be 10. Not like that's any better, but Tree decided to half all shop prices and raise other prices in the store for no apparent reason. This nerfed farming, even though it was already dead. Have you ever seen a cactus farm in top Factions on BD? No. They always usually have spawners or some other way to get money. But let's say you want to get spawners, but the iPad store price of spawners is literally 2 million per spawner. 2 million per spawner, what the fuck? That would take the whole season to get. Tree also nerfed Fortune on the undead OP pickaxe and removed XP from blocks. Yes, there was good reason, but at least have some other way to fix that. So there goes any investments towards undead for the OP pick. You'd have to sell about 400,000 cactus, with each selling for $5 to get 2 million. Do you know how long that would take? Excuse me if the prices are different since I haven't played BD in a while, nor ever farmed in BD. If you buy a rank, the game becomes much easier as you get better tools and money. There is no way except voting, begging, and scamming for new players to earn money. This makes people want to quit since the server is so pay to win, and those who don't quit decide to buy a rank themselves. I think we can all agree that the server is pay to win since it is not humanly possible to get money legit. A few more cons are the weird rules. Okay, I might be dumb, but can you understand how the rules work here? Also, most hidden rules are not included in the slash rules in-game, so many people get punished for things they didn't even know was illegal. Also, I think the admitting to hacking rule is also messed up. I've seen hundreds of people get banned for jokingly admitting to hacks when they didn't mean to. Yes, there will be guilty people who want to get banned, or are actually hacking, but there are also some innocents that are not hacking and just want to be funny to their friends. As the wise Benjamin Franklin would say, it is better 100 guilty persons should escape than that one innocent person should suffer. Apart from the weird and unfair rules, there are also unfair bans. Unfair bans being perm for advertising, names with hack in them, no hacks just minor, or fun hack are allowed since they bought a rank, kinda biased, bans from inexperienced staff, Kryptonite would know a lot about that, and many others. Along with these weird guidelines, lag plays a huge part in this. The server should be made to handle players, and not lag, but lag still occurs. Even after tree removes /ftop and other things like Koth and factions tab list, people still complain about the lag. This is a huge problem, since many people PvP and get falsely banned for anti-KB and hacks. One example is Alex Zaid, who looked like he had anti-KB, but the server was just making him stuck and not able to move. I've also experienced this, where I had good ping, but the server wouldn't let me move, and it looked like I had anti-KB. Most people don't even record in PvP, but you need proof to show that you're not hacking, and even then, they can be like, oh, you're using Ghostline, ugh. With lag comes bugs. Bugs ruin the whole faction's experience, since there are so many of them. People report bugs on forums all the time, but they hardly ever get fixed or addressed. One example is the hub glitch. I will make a video soon about all the glitches in Blockdrop and how to use them. Hopefully, Tree will watch and finally fix all these bugs, or just ruin factions by disabling everything that can be used to use them, or to do them. We will have to see. The last few cons are that there's a lack of staff, and anti-cheat doesn't work that well. I've seen people OR for days without getting banned, and staff merely say, just record and report on forums. Wait, isn't that your fucking job? Players didn't sign up to be staff, so maybe do your part and record them yourselves? If you can't handle it, resign. There are lots of videos on hacking on Blockdrop since it's so easy to hack. Yes, it's a cracked server, but that should be an even better reason to get good staff and anti-cheat. Has this ever happened to you, where the staff just say record the hackers? It's a hassle, and people can just go in an alt account and ban evade. The last small con I will touch on is reusing maps. Many people complain about the maps. They all have a different opinion on them when they get reused, and many are frustrated that the maps keep cycling for 1 to 3 seasons in a row. It gets boring after a while. But we can also argue that it's a pain to build or download a new map, and it's not that big of a deal. But that's for you to decide. Small tangent. Tree is trying to discredit most sources used in this video, but I assure you that most evidence used here will be available and open to find online and in Discord. I can provide links to almost all the screenshots and proof used in this video. These accusations will not work if I link and show most stuff if anyone is interested or looking for the truth. Thanks. A related, not commonly cited reason for Blockdrop's decline was the outrage over Blockdrop changing their old hub in 2019 to be more modern without the kit PvP. If you don't know what I'm talking about, a year or two ago, we were able to PvP with one set of diamond armor and hub as a way to pass the time and PvP with your friends. It helped when the server had a fallback or was down. It got removed and the hub wasn't the same anymore. A lot of nostalgia value was lost and people were upset about this. There may be some worth in players trying to return to Blockdrop after a hiatus, seeing that things are not what they used to be, aka a failure of nostalgia, and then being like, this isn't what I remember Blockdrop being like, I'll just quit instead. Who can recall saying something along the lines of, none of my friends play Blockdrop anymore, they all play something else, so I'm going to join them. People leaving a server causes more people leave the server as well. It's a vicious cycle. One of the biggest nightmares of a popular server like Blockdrop would have is a dwindling player base. Your business model is totally dependent on a surplus of players to sustain each of the multiple game modes. If players are leaving, there will be a lack of players, and queue times will increase in game modes that aren't that popular, such as the old minigames and the Bedwars. So those minigames start getting cut, and the respective cult-like mini-communities of people that were very passionate about these games have great reason just to leave the server, meaning a player base decreases again, meaning less and less players, meaning more games will have to get cut, and so on. This vicious cycle also has other devastating side effects too. Fewer players equals fewer potential patrons of the server. Basic math. There would be more donators in a group of 1,000 people than in a group of 400 people. And the value of just having more people on your server extends further. Who wants to buy a donator rank on smaller servers when you can flex a rank to more people on a larger server, or the largest server, and feel like it matters more, and you've gotten more value for your purchase? All of this is a snowball effect. Once the ball gets rolling, it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and harder to stop. For Blockdrop, this snowball was terrible because it meant greater and greater losses to their server and player base. Another thing that Blockdrop deals with is YouTubers' influence. Who is the biggest YouTuber that plays on Blockdrop? Flamepig, Mamu, Cabsjon, Erwin Smith? Name the biggest YouTuber that plays on other faction servers. O-Techers, Creeper's Edge, Muzoid, and other YouTubers? Need I say more? Other servers have enough pseudo-celebrities that they have their own YouTuber news channel, Lego Maestro. Blockdrop is light years away from having that level of success. With all said, maybe people are looking at it backwards. Are other servers popular because they have a lot of YouTubers? Or did the YouTubers start recording on the other servers because it was popular? More people seem to believe the former, which is why they cite YouTubers and influence as a reason of other servers' popularity. But it wouldn't surprise me to find that the distribution of YouTubers between other servers is simply symptomatic of other servers' popularity. In 2019, I started my channel focused on Blockdrop content. As I said in the disclaimer at the start of the video, the reasons I've given so far, I think, are far from enormous contributors to Blockdrop's downfall. Maybe that leaves you unsatisfied. Maybe you really want to know what put the nail in the coffin. What do I think that is? I think it's that Blockdrop got hit with the 7 plagues between the years of 2016 to 2020. The server underwent a big series of really bad looks. First, Blockdrop's anti-cheat was completely unprepared to deal with a massive wave of hackers that showed up thanks to influence of new hack clients and hacking YouTubers such as Gamemodes, random YouTubers, and Irish Fishes. And just because it was cracked, a lot of players cheated since they had nothing to lose. Tree even allowed hacks on mini-games because he didn't have enough staff to moderate it. And how do we know that those players didn't use hacks after playing mini-games? We don't. Eventually, mini-games got taken down along with Bedwars before reopening in 2019 to 2020. Then, in June 2017, the owner of Blockdrop, Tree182, and what is known as the Blockdrop Backdoor ensued, where hackers had access to Tree's account. That's worse than it sounds. Then, what may have been the killing blow for Blockdrop is when in late 2019, the owner of Blockdrop transferred bans from the old ban list to the new ban list. What is now known as the Kopthan era ensued, where a group of hackers got a hold of old ranked donor and staff accounts and were able to ban evade on these hacked accounts, and to kick/ban players mid-combat or in-game. I gave an example earlier with Citadel. I don't think I need to tell you why this was a bad idea. This unban, no exaggeration, hundreds to thousands of previously banned accounts were able to join the game again. The mess from this is still being cleaned up to this day. Many of these compromised accounts are still having to be rebanned. So even after all the hacking, the Kopthan era, and network bans of really popular figures like Erwin Smith, people from Splash, Sohan, Shanks, and Mamu, Duba, this debacle made Blockdrop look like the ultimate joke. A blunder on this level, I think, is unparalleled. Blockdrop kept digging itself into a deeper grave. How? Because as I mentioned earlier, as a cracked server, you can't just pump out games such as Bedwars and minigames without respecting the reality that is the size of your player base. Blockdrop was already losing players by the time these games came out, like Skyblock Astra and Omega, and by releasing more things such as City Life and City Prisons, they were stretching their already dwindling player base across more and more game modes. Remember City Prisons? Oh wait, it got shut down. Oh yeah. Remember Bedwars? Oh yeah, it shut down, but now it's back, but with like 0 players. Remember Murder Mystery? Oh yeah, it was fun, until no one played. How big of a problem is this? Just check what the player counts in Blockdrop games are. So many of them get barely any players because they have too many game modes as a result of the enormous losses of players they suffer, and because they made too many game modes when it was already becoming unsustainable. Okay, so Tree says there's like 1,000 players online, so how come there's only like 50 at max in like all the different game modes? In each game mode, like 50 in factions, 50 in survival, how come there's not more? Huh? And with the missing players, does that mean there's 600 people in Bedwars? I really doubt that. With that aside, I want to add that because Blockdrop was releasing these new games, such as Skyblock updates and new Bedwars and minigames, they had less resources to expand on updating or fixing things and problems in other game modes. And every time they add a new game, that's just spreading themselves even thinner. It's just one more thing to potentially have to perform occasional updates and bug fixes on. Remember that being too slow to put out updates or fix problems is one of the commonly cited reasons for Blockdrop's downfall, so as well as being a multifactorial, the reasons for Blockdrop's decline are more interconnected than many others think. From what I can see at least. Quick disclaimer, yes, this is completely speculation, but it does have a good basis. I am indeed outright assuming that Blockdrop released these new game modes as an attempt to grow its player base, and stretching out its player base across a relatively absurd number of games for fun. I see no reason to release new game modes on the server unless you thought it would be very popular and or reach an audience that doesn't yet populate your server. And it's important to know that this phenomenon isn't inclusive to Blockdrop nowadays. Hypixel is the most popular server in the world and constantly has over 60,000 concurrent players, but they still fail to draw players to their smaller games. PvP Run, TNT Wizards, Speed UHC, and Crazy Walls are looking a little bit like Bedwars from Blockdrop. So this low player count doesn't mean a server is doing badly, it can merely be a consequence of a player base being so heavily concentrated in just a few game modes. But in Blockdrop, there's almost no game modes where people are heavily concentrated. Do you think 40 people on factions is good when it's the most popular game mode out of a supposed 900 players? When looking at servers with over 300 people? Right now, having this ridiculous abundance of game modes and shortage of players is hurting Blockdrop. But as I'll discuss later, it may serve them well in the long run as a form of permanent infrastructure if they manage to make a comeback. In the end, I do respect Blockdrop's attempt. If Blockdrop actually managed to put out decent updated game modes, then maybe they could have bounced back and stayed competitive with other servers. The thing is, it's not easy to put out decent game modes. There's no great way of telling whether a specific game mode will do well. Until after it's offered to the public, anyways. Banking on a game mode doing well to carry you to your former success for a cracked server is a desperate move. And I can see why Blockdrop went that route, given that they were just leaking players non-stop and needed a way to stop it fast. Now, because I'm speaking in these speculative hypotheticals, this is a good time to move on to the next major part of this video that I would like to talk about. Can Blockdrop come back? What's up, guys? Let's look at all tree bots. 573, okay. 350, okay. 402, okay. Yeah. That's like, let's see. Over 1,000 players just on Bedwars. Go back to hub. Save life. Oh, it'll take a long time. It's fucking renovating. It's hard. Okay, 34 players. 35. Right. And survival. Okay, 70 players. 69. Nice. Prison. 26 players. Okay. 26. Skyblock Astra. 30 players in Skyblock Astra. Skyblock Sonic. 12 what? 12 players in fucking the Skyblock thing. Factions, come on. Factions gotta have a high number. Come on, like 60, come on. Okay. 71. Okay, decent. So that means disconnect. Is that only because I want hacks? That's BS. to 1.12. Sorry for this. I'm just trying to fucking get off these hacks because I was hacking different servers. AKA fucking Pika. Whatever. So they have 1,000 players in Bedwars. On the tab list, 915 players. So if that's 915, right? 917. And we go back into Bedwars. Again. Sure. Okay. Let's do my count. Figured. 1, 2, 3. And we go to Bedwars. So 900 players, right? Right? Wrong. Big wrong. 500 players plus 300 players is 800 plus 398. Yeah, that's way over 900. Nice bots, nice bots. Exactly. 3 bots a server. 3 bots a server. Thank you for watching. To discuss this, let's continue our discussion about a good game mode. If, as I said, a game mode could have saved Blockdrop from its downfall, can a good game mode still revive it today? Short answer, yes. I mean, really, why not? A really good game mode can bring something from the darkest depths of obscurity to the top trending server list on the internet. Fidget spinners were invented in 1993, and their internet randomly decided to make them go from nobody knows what this thing is to overly popular in 2017. Of course, given the limits of interest in Minecraft and even video games in general, a game mode on this level would be very, very unlikely for Blockdrop. And although good game modes have power, you can't just have a good game mode and ride that success forever. You have to put in good work to sustain the temporary growth that the game mode produced. Think about a dying campfire. You can start fanning the flames all you want, but the flames only have so much to burn through before you're left with nothing but ashes and embers. You gotta put in some logs for the flames to chew on. The flames are the game modes, and the logs are what you put in to establish more permanence in your popularity. This lesson should be familiar to Blockdrop, who for the longest time was extremely popular and unfortunately realized too late that it didn't mean they were untouchable. Assume Blockdrop releases new updates and game modes that gets them from 300 players back to over 1,000 concurrent players. If this popularity is only going to last a few weeks or a couple months at best, what should Blockdrop do to keep these numbers up for a longer period of time? The answer is, I think, obvious, but vague. Blockdrop would have to take measures to fix the problems which caused people to leave in the first place. This is a good example on how criticism is very easy and solutions are difficult. Anyways, this goes back to the very start of the video, where I listed all those commonly cited reasons for Blockdrop's decline. Yeah, it's a super boring conversation now that it's been talked about a lot. Blockdrop died because of lag, because of hackers, because games were being updated, because games were getting removed. But most of those are legitimate reasons and cannot be overlooked simply because people have stated them over and over in an attempt to appear intelligent and analytical. That's what I'm doing right now, and I hope I'm doing a better job. But I think it shouldn't be surprising to people that Blockdrop has to be a good server to achieve longevity and its popularity, and for people to stay on it for the years to come. As it stands, I do not think Blockdrop is a good server. Having a massive influx of new players will not magically make it a good server either. Why not? Well, in general, very little has been updated in Blockdrop since the last time I played on it. A lot of things just don't work, or don't work well. Let me point some out. Bugs and glitches that break factions are still within the game even after years of people reporting it on forums and in Discord. One major bug is the /hub glitch. Another one is a red wall in PvP, where you can just sit inside the wall in combat just to be safe and escape people that are trying to hit you. Other bugs include server fallbacks, which make people lose tons of items, some paid for like axes and IGs. This fallback allows some people to dupe stuff as well. One accusation is that /stack, undead rank, and the 100 million are virtually unobtainable since no one in the past 3 years has ever seen someone get it out of the crate. If someone has proof to deny this theory, please share it. I'm calling out the owner to take up the challenge and see how many keys it would take to get those things listed out of the crates. Another broken thing in factions is all the members X-ring spawners. X-ring spawners break factions. I've seen members X-ray 2 to 3 spawners in a couple of hours with no server moderation at all. This is because of the lack of staff within the game mode, since they all quit or got demoted. One instance where people notified Tree about people X-ring spawners was FHX Master. FHX Master had 64 spawners on AH like 2 days after the reset. Everybody pointed it out, but Tree didn't care. He was more interested in Mycologic and Dirt and how they got a bunch of gold that they raided from a base. He world edited the gold out and banned both of them. Will these problems be fixed? Probably not. These have occurred since I joined the server in 2018, probably even before I joined, and are still apparent now. This is just stuff I figured out in my 2 main years of playing. I'm sure if I played other game modes, I'd find a ton more examples of things being terribly broken. When I lay things out like this, it may seem that fixing all of Blockdrop's issues may be an insurmountable task. But no, things may be difficult, but they are also going to be easy for a few reasons. Furthermore, Blockdrop was the best crack server for more than one reason, and not all those reasons have been washed away by time. It still has the infrastructure of a top server, mostly working plugins, a small active community, mostly organized forums, events, giveaways, a Discord server. None of this has to be rebuilt if the server is to be revitalized. And that's a big deal. It's like Blockdrop is playing a video game where they're trying to make a successful Minecraft server, and even though they died once or twice in the process, they already hit a few important save points and acquired the strongest items that will make regaining what they lost a lot easier. What's the bad part about being known? People see Blockdrop for having its fall from grace. They laugh at Blockdrop. It achieved meme status for being so washed up after the 7 plagues that made Blockdrop look like a complete joke. And the good devs that Blockdrop needs are probably frightened to touch the absolute dumpster fire that put Blockdrop in this state. So perceptions of Blockdrop's history of drama and fiasco may be a big barrier, one that is not easily overcome. Despite the good news that comes from already having their name out there, the path to Blockdrop's former glory is a badly clogged artery, and it's going to take more than a couple surgeries to fix. The problem that was a commonly cited reason for Blockdrop's decline, I must have used that phrase a dozen times. Anyway, poor management was yet another likely reason that Blockdrop collapsed, and I'm enthusiastically told by my knowledgeable peers that it is still a reason that Blockdrop is going to struggle to return to its old popularity. The folks that I am citing so often in this video have superhuman levels of insider knowledge as to the inner workings of Blockdrop's staff team, and though they may be biased, I'm always taking their words with a grain of salt. I overall trust what they have to say because they have dedicated themselves so deeply to this server over the past few years. There's also a lack of development time to be able to go through and update games. Even when updates go out, sometimes development is shifted completely elsewhere on the server, and hot fixes for things that may have potentially broken during the updates generally don't happen much after the initial updates itself, and the 1 or 2 hot fixes that go along with them. So the solution may be simple. Get more development so updates can come out at a reasonable pace, so the server is decently functional and won't put off any potential new players with its lag and its broken features. Of course, it sounds simple, but it's never actually that simple. Just get a few more dubs, lol. Why didn't Blockdrop think of that? Blockdrop may have burned down almost everything they ever owned, but they're not completely brain dead. Anyways, hiring new talented developers costs money and a good deal of persuasion. As I said earlier, BD isn't the prestigious server it once was. It's more of a joke. Any big name established dev is unlikely to stoop so low as to join Blockdrop in its broken, burnt out state. Once more, solutions are difficult, and good ones rarely come out from the general public. Though I'm a YouTuber, I'm still classified as the general public. Still, I'll give my best shot as a solution. I'm well aware that it may be a horrible solution or worth nothing to Blockdrop, who may have already considered what I'm thinking. Blockdrop, my uneducated but honest recommendation is to get more devs plus trained staff with whatever money you have, and commission them to fix the things that you should have fixed in the first place. It may be what you need to restore your lost player base. If the plan works, use the funds you have received to hire new talented developers that will help keep new players around for longer, and from there, I don't know. These are some big risks. I don't know the first thing about managing a business. Maybe Blockdrop doesn't really care about what happens to their server. The thing is, about any of this, I still think Blockdrop's original game modes are, even after all this time, a ton of fun. That is probably the biggest reason I think Blockdrop can come back. That, as I've said before, it has the infrastructure of a large server from its peak, and the infrastructure has not gone away. Just because those players have left, if it gets the player base back so that the mini communities for individual games have a chance at being restored, being that games will have more players again, people will realize, hey, these games are fun, really fun. Why was the server so dead for so many years? But so far, it has a long way to go. Thank you all for making it to the end of the video. This video has been a lot of work. I've spent tons of hours editing it, even after it kind of corrupted and I had to restart all over again. This video is putting me at risk since the tree literally threatened he would dox me. He probably still will because he's a dick, but hopefully, if he does, I'll have more proof on it. Thanks. Peace.